Okay then, welcome to Warhammer painting blog number 10, and I'm just going to show you around my room. It's where I'm showing you what I paint, my collection of stuff that I have. I don't want a couple of comments saying about some of the stuff I have with me being rich, because I'm far from it, and I just knew I'd get some. I'm just thinking I'd probably get some comments like that, and well, we don't need them. And so anyway, so here is where I paint, as you can see, and as you can see, that is my other hobby. I do like playing computers. I've got my PC down there, and as you can see over here, I have quite a collection of games, which of course I'll explain. I did have a job, which I've recently lost, and that's the reason I can afford some of the stuff. I've now actually run out of money to the point that I daren't spend anymore, just in case something comes up. And the reason that I could afford so much really is because I had no bills to pay, and well, that's it. So here's the TV, which I recently bought with my money, and a Wii. But anyway, on to what we're really talking about. And up here is where I've got my models, and I did start on my Falcon, although I said I'd stop painting, but you know. And here are the rest of the models up here. So over here to my actual thing I was going to show you, and I'm just showing you all the collection of stuff that I have, and then I'll go in depth on some of them in a minute. This is everything I have all here. So there's the usual stuff, just the models which you've seen me paint or have been painted, static grass, different types of glue. This glue I use for this stuff here, which is the stuff I use for the trees and bushes, which is quite helpful. I've got green stuff and this Miller pup, which I was told is virtually the same, but you get a hell of a lot more, which you do when you see it in there. And just a couple of models that have just been assembled, which I'll go over in another video. These are the stuff that I used for all my basing. I've got kitty litter in here. I've got sand, which I sometimes use but sometimes don't, and I've also got tea leaves, which is I use for my dirt and things like that. So hopefully that's a tip to some of you. So over here I only actually use 4 paintbrushes, and mainly only use one. So you don't need lots of paintbrushes to paint. And this is what I use to put my water in. This is my knife that I use. You can just buy bespoke new blades for it, and it's got a nice weight to it, which helps you get a bit of pressure on. I've got actually 2 pairs of clippers. These smaller ones, which are helpful for getting in close to the models, and then these bigger ones here. And I'll go into what's actually in the tins, like this one here and this one here, in a minute. And that's my Battle for Skull pass box and my Battle Force. So I'll show you the rest in a minute. Okay then, the next part of the video is just me showing you what's inside the tins that I've got, because you know what's inside the other ones. And the first thing inside this tin is glue tack, extremely useful. And right, this sprue here, which has got some shoulder pads in it, and this sprue is from the Space Marine Commander, what's left of it. They give you lots of extra bits. Now the actual stuff that's in here are models that are either assembled or bits that I don't want to lose. So I've got this here from the Battle for Skull pass box. I've got bases in here that I don't want to lose, small ones, the bigger ones. I've also got a couple of dwarf bits in here. I've got the cannon here with the crew, which is one more guy, and he is here. So I've got the cannon with the free crew here. I've also got a dwarf slayer, which has got to have some paint put on him. As you see, he's just, you know, taking out the sprue really. And the next thing I've got is really just, the rest is Space Marine. I've got 5 scouts in here. I've also got, as you probably saw earlier, I've got a rhino that you saw when I was showing you around the room. This is the part of the crew. I've also got the doors that aren't actually finished yet. So you've seen the assault squad. And the other thing I found on my Battle for Skull pass box, which I didn't know was in there, was this guy here, which is a dwarf slayer who's actually been tied up. So this model shouldn't take too long to paint, so I'll probably paint him at some time. And that's pretty much it for that box. It's just pretty much like my bits box, but it's kind of all my bits are still on their sprues, so these are just assembled models awaiting paint really. And the last box is this one over here, and this box is just, well not box, this tin is just my paints. I've pretty much got one of every colour, but not every single paint, so if there's a colour I've got it, and then I've got some other colours, like I've got 3 different blues, because obviously I was painting Space Marine, so a lot of blues helps. I've got a couple of purples, a couple of reds, a couple of oranges, obviously white, black, silvers, golds, brass, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So that is my collection, as it were, of stuff that I use. Hopefully this was interesting to some of you, and thanks for watching really. On a word of advice, I did say I was probably going to do a video on the 5 different chapters of Space Marines and put them all on a single base. So I'm probably going to start painting again tomorrow, although I said it'll probably be Friday, probably will be tomorrow, as long as nothing happens tomorrow. And so if that goes ahead, I'll probably get into painting some of the Battle for Skull Pass stuff, because I've done quite a lot of 40k stuff, and it's all been Space Marines, so I haven't painted hardly any dwarfs, so get into painting the dwarfs. So I'll probably paint the Slayer, and if I have time I'll probably either paint this guy here to go with him, or I'll probably paint the cannon with the crew, but obviously he's going to take a bigger base than him, because he doesn't need a big base, he's only very small. So, and that's pretty much it. I would show you what's inside these boxes, but you probably pretty much already know. All I can say is about the Battle for Skull Pass boxes, there are lots of miniatures in there, and they're all very well detailed, so if you're looking to get into the hobby really as a game as well, it's probably a good thing to get the Battle for Skull Pass box to get into the fantasy game. So there's 100 miniatures in there, both armies are in there, and that's pretty much it. I've probably been rabbiting on for too long. This has probably gone into 2 parts, so thanks for watching if you have, and have a good one.